Oh, do you know what is going to happen, my gorgeous Sagittarini? You're really going to be worrying about someone specific. You know, about somebody really, really specific in your life, okay? And this particular person that you're going to be worrying about is only because something really bad is going to happen to someone, but it's not, that person is not going to be like really close to you. This is not your family member, or it's not your best friend, but it is someone who is like very, like kind of nice to you. It's someone whom you just started to have a conversation and chat, like maybe recently. It could even happen within the last year or so, maybe within the last 6 months. I would say within the last year or within the last 6 months, you started to talk to someone, and this person is like a really nice person, and you really realize how much you like kind of get on. Nothing to do with like a romance and all that type of things, you know. I was going to say all that type of nonsense. Sorry, all that type of things. There's nothing wrong with romance, don't get me wrong, but it's nothing to do with romance and this type of thing. It's just to do with the one specific person whom you feel extremely, yeah, I suppose really, really connected to, and somebody who started to become like a really nice person in your life on your spiritual journey. So that particular person, it's like kind of gonna worry you a little bit, because you're gonna hear that something bad happened to that person, or it's more like something bad happened to that person. Something bad happened to not to that person, but to somebody in that person's life who that person is extremely, extremely, extremely connected to, like that person's family member. Does that make sense? So something is going to happen not to that person, sorry, but to the person who this particular person is extremely connected to, and this is really kind of gonna make you worried, because you're gonna start worrying about that particular person. And my advice here is, my gorgeous Sagittarini, to try to like kind of reach forward as soon as you possibly can, because you are going to see that particular person within the first part of November 2023, and you're going to be worrying about that person. But because that person has got other people in their lives, can you hear this? Someone is like parking or something outside. Shut up! No, but you're gonna worry about that person. Can you hear that? Dance, baby. Yeah. Woo! Something is going to happen to that person, my gorgeous Sagittarian, and please, for the love of God, reach through, reach forward. And you're going to ask me, like, why am I talking about this person for so long? Listen to me carefully, purely because you're going to think that someone else can talk to that person, because that person has got people who are very close to that person anyway. So this may like kind of put you off a little bit, but there are going to be specific things that you will want to say to this person. You have to, for the love of God, reach forward. You have to do something. You need to say what is on your mind. Maybe it's like how you want to say, I'm so sorry about what happened. For example, you need to understand, whatever it is, my point is that the divine intervention is going to occur the moment in time you reach through, the moment in time you reach forward, the moment in time you start talking to this person, and you are gonna know, you will know who am I talking about. You will know who this is, my gorgeous Sagittarini. Indeed, trust me, believe me, because this is happening. When I say that the actual divine intervention is going to occur, it means the moment in time you reach forward, something is going to happen here. Okay, something is going to happen. You need to understand that you are being guided. Why? How? Something is going to happen, and that person is going to tell you some kind of information. This information is going to come completely out of the blue. It's going to surprise you, throw you out of balance, but at least it's going to open your eyes. You will know what to do. You will know what not to do, and most importantly, you will know what to avoid in order to protect yourself. What that person is going to tell you is going to change your plans just a little bit, not because this person is telling you, but because what your understanding is going to be. You are going to be driven like a big mama when it comes to your intuition. You will understand that there are certain plans which you're going to need need to change and you're going to need to cancel. But most importantly, there is going to be a really powerful idea which you are going to have about your future, something that you're going to need to apply into your life immediately, something that you're going to need to start thinking about it right now, because as the time goes forward, you know, there are a couple of news and couple of messages that you're going to reach, my God, that you're going to have, my gorgeous Sagittarini. The 22nd and the 23rd of November, you are going to become aware of like a really scary news on the outside. And I don't want to scare you. That's not my job. I don't want to scare you whatsoever. But the news that you're going to hear on the outside is nothing to do with your life. Maybe news, maybe you're going to see something, maybe you're going to hear something. You will know it's true. It's going to be absolutely out of this world, because maybe your worst fears are gonna kind of come up, like, oh my God, I was worrying about this. I'm not trying to scare you. This is nothing to do with your life in particular, nothing to do with your personal life. But you will see that one thing is going to lead into another. So what happened with that person and what you realized, you know, on time, otherwise you would never realize. So now this is going to help you to kind of accept this news as serious as you possibly can, because at the same time it's going to kind of make you aware of the fact that you're going to need to hurry up with something like so much. I'm not saying your life is in danger or anything like that, but I'm just saying that this in itself is going to need to come to you completely organically, without anybody telling you what to do, how to do, or anything like that. So this is really something that you are most certainly going to need to pay attention to, my gorgeous Sagittarini, indeed. And when it comes to when it comes to the actual numerology, your number is 8810. 8810. These are your numbers, and you know what it is. It's just with the something. It's to do with the something that was really kind of making you feel so depressed, and it's to do with something that was making you feel like you were constantly blaming yourself about something for so long, something that maybe you've done wrong, maybe the wrong turn that you took within the last 9 months. And what happened was that, you know, maybe you took a wrong turn and you were blaming yourself for something so badly, something that happened within the last 9 months, and something that you couldn't do anything with whatsoever. So an important message which you're going to have, an important news, you know, an important realization, or shall I say, it's going to make you aware of the fact that you are now able to move on. You know, you're able to walk away from something that was worrying you for the last 9 months. You did not know what to do whatsoever, and this news and message is going to not only make you aware of the fact that you can move on from that now, but it's this news and message, it's more going to be about things changing, you know, in your life, and that in itself is going to allow you to actually see and look at things differently. So what you have found like impossible before for the last 9 months, now it's finally, thank God, going to become possible. At that moment in time, you need to understand, my gorgeous Sagittarini, that your life is about to transform. A powerful transformation is going to begin, which means that on another hand, at around the 18th of November, someone is really going to be pressurizing you to do something that you don't want to do. At around the 19th of November, someone is going to be pressurizing you to do something that you don't want to do. Please don't do it. Don't do it, because you're going to lose part of yourself, which is going to be completely impossible to discover or rediscover ever again. This is very important for you to understand. At around the 19th of November, somebody is going to be pressurizing you to do something. You have to stand firm, you have to be smart, and you have to be clever. Don't ever do anything that you don't want to do, especially if your bells are ringing, especially if at the back of your mind you're like, no baby, no, especially if your subconscious mind is like a screaming in the background. Very often people just like kind of ignore themselves, especially when we are dealing with people that are so powerful in terms of their energy energy. It affects our balance because we are very easy to be manipulated when we are kind of like that, when people have a very strong energy, you know, and people can do nowadays all sorts of things, you know, just to take an advantage of people, just for money and finances. Sadly, you know, people show their very, very horrible faces. There are certain people that are so vile. Honestly, there are some certain people that are so vile in this world that they just absolutely don't care anything but money. There are some people that are prepared to do anything for money, you know, when it comes to the dearest people, like in their lives, in their circles, you know, let alone people who come across, you know, people they come across, like people who they're not necessarily emotionally or in any way connected to, you know. It's even easier for them, I suppose, you know, to do the devil's work and type of things like that. So please, you need to stand firm, not only when it comes to the 19th of November, but when it comes to like your life in general, you know, if someone is pressurizing you to do something that you don't want to do, just don't do it. And this is going to be something irreversible. So this is why you have to be really, really clever, my gorgeous Sagittarini, indeed. And you know, when it comes to karma, this is brilliant. This is absolutely brilliant. Things moving on in your life, and things basically, you know, you are really kind of going to become aware of the fact that, especially when it comes to the stage and the period in between the 12th and the 22nd of November, in between 12th and the 22nd of November, you are, you know, this is the time of karma, a really good karma. It's about to walk into your life at the moment in time. You kind of become aware of the fact that something is like really moving on. You're gonna like this. Something is moving on, and this is gonna mean to you so much, because you are gonna be able to make a really important decision you couldn't have made for such a long time. But sadly, like the part of this important decision, not sadly, but the part of this important decision is going to be for you to actually meet up. This is the part of it. You're going to need to meet up with a certain group of people, and have some kind of like a competition, or you're going to need to like a really kind of like really have a very much so a part of that. It's going to be like you having a very intense conversation and proving your point as well to somebody who you don't, you know. So it's going to be one of these two things, my gorgeous Sagittarini. This is where this is going to lead to. But the bottom line is that it's going to lead towards you meeting up with a certain people, or being a part of some kind of competition, for example, and you're not going to feel too pleasant about it. But this is so important for you to understand. You must not allow for this to put you off, whether this is a competition, whether this is a group of people, whether this is a person who you just don't want to talk to. It's going to be a part of it. It's going to be part of it, you know. But it's important for you to understand, because if you don't do this if you don't do this sorry, if you don't do this, then you're not going to find out which steps do you need to make. Trust me, this is going to be absolutely obvious. If you don't do this, you're not going to find out. You're not going to be able to find out which steps do you need to make. This is what take next. This is why this is so important, okay? Very, very important indeed. Okay, and also my gorgeous Sagittarini, it's basically when it comes to your health and when it comes to your nutrition, what I highly recommend you to take something like you know, your liver. I can see a bit of a negative energy around your liver. So please, what you're going to need to do is just to make sure that you detoxify your liver somehow. And my suggestion would be to take something like a milk thistle. Milk thistle is this very, very powerful herb indeed, which is going to help you to detoxify your liver, and therefore in the long run this is indeed gonna make like a really huge impact on your life in general. So please do not forget to take something to detoxify your liver, and it is a milk thistle, which is absolutely brilliant, probably one of the best things you can take ever. Milk thistle, I highly recommend you to get in like a tincture form if you possibly can, and you also need to make sure that it's without any chemicals or anything like that. If you're on any other medications, if you're pregnant or if you're breastfeeding, you just need to check with your doctor or GP. Only they can tell you whether this can interact with your existing medications or not. So now, my gorgeous Sagittarini, I'm going to start with the very first date that I would like to recommend you. Now, this is going to be very, very interesting indeed, because the 1st of November, you're going to be thinking about this like, oh my God, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this, and I want to do that, but I can't do it, I can't do it, I can't do it. That's how you're going to be thinking. You're going to be like all over the place on the 1st of November. And the more all over the place you are, the better it's going to be. In fact, already on the 3rd of November, somebody very close to you, somebody kind of connected to you, somebody who is a consistent person in your life, who gives you like consistent messages every now and then, it's going to make you aware of something which is going to open your eyes. And most importantly, it's going to make you realize, you know, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. And this is exactly to do. It's exactly to do with what you were worrying about on the 1st of November. This is going to mean to you so much, and this is going to be so important to you as well. And even more so by the time you get to the 6th of November. Oh my God. On the 6th of November, it's bringing you a massive, huge, and giant, enormous victory. Big accomplishment, my babies. On the 6th of November, big accomplishment. Oh my God, this is gonna help. It's to do with your own recognition, seriously. And this is gonna make you feel so good about yourself. This is where everything is gonna start changing. Literally from one dimension, you're walking into another dimension. It's like, oh my goodness. And this is all to do with what was worrying you on the 1st of November, and then what you heard on the 3rd of November, and then by the time you get to the 6th of November, massive victory and accomplishment. And this is, oh my God, this is gonna be brilliant, because that particular victory and accomplishment that you are going to have, it's also gonna kind of show you what to focus on, because it's not only about accomplishment and this absolutely mind-blowing achievement, but it's at the same time an inspiration which is going to come out of it. But this is really going to surprise you. On one hand, you really were kind of expecting this, but it's going to surprise you on which level this will actually go to. You will only understand this on the 6th of November, by the end of the day on the 6th of November indeed. And there is also going to be such an interesting good omen and sign that you are going to have at around that time. And yes, it's going to come in the form of a bird, but a bird that you're going to hear, a loud bird you're going to hear somewhere. You're not going to see it, you know, you're not going to come across that bird like this, that you're going to see it, but you're going to hear like some kind of a bird, you know. And it's going to be very loud noise, very, very loud. And it's going to seem different. Something is going to seem different. You need to understand that at that moment in time, you're typing into a very powerful dimension, which is going to, on one hand, give you courage to move on, and then on another hand, it's going to contribute towards you setting yourself free from some kind of shackles that you have found yourself in, and that were slowing you down for so long. Oh my goodness. So this is what you're waiting for. So the 6th of November, it's also bringing you an inspiration, like a really bright prospects, like so many opportunities, like one opportunity after another. It's gonna be connected to you, like realizing what this is actually going to bring into your life. A really bright prospects indeed, which you are going to absolutely love. Suddenly you're gonna become so kind of optimistic and so happy and so positive about your future, about what's to come, opposed to being negative. And I'm not saying that you were like a negative Lala so far, but you will see once this energy elevates you, you just see how much was like weighing you down. It's like, oh my goodness. Another thing I was going to recommend you, my gorgeous Sagittarini, would be this absolutely gorgeous lariat. Absolutely stunning lariat pendant. Look at this little shine. Very, very cool, very powerful. I suggest you to wear this for the next few months indeed. Lariat pendant has a calming and stabilizing effect on the mind, emotions, and it reduces stress and anxiety. And most importantly, it helps you to reduce a negative thought pattern. And this is so important. This gorgeous lariat pendant comes with sterling silver chain, and to buy this you just click like in the corner, up here in the corner, and then you will see it's going to expand somehow, and then you're going to see where to buy this. The next important date, my gorgeous Sagittarini, is going to be on the 11th of November. On the 11th of November, you know, you are going to be pretty much so facing a group of people. There are going to be a few different people around you, or you're going to be looking at a few different people, and this in itself, it's like kind of people that you've seen so many times, people that you come across so many times, people that were in your life so many times, but now there is something is going to be different, because you're going to be looking at these few different people that you've seen so many times before, but now they're going to say something, they're going to mention something, and you are really literally going to find yourself at the right place at the right time, because what they're going to say is like really going to surprise you. You will scream when you hear what they're going to say. You're going to scream like a big mama. You're going to scream. See, you will feel like you want to scream, because suddenly, almost as if they're going to reveal like a secret formula, like what to do with like some kind of like issue that you had on your mind, you know, some kind of a burden that you've been dealing with, that it became more difficult and more difficult. And this particular burden that you were dealing with, you know, oh my God, there is so much more to it, because this particular burden that you were dealing with, you almost like slowed yourself down. You kind of like you were going towards the certain destination, and you were so prompt so far, you were so fast, you were unstoppable, but there were certain things that happened, especially within the last 16 months. Within the last 16 months, something happened. Very negative experience happened. Within the last 16 months, something bad happened. Look, Plantini, Shakini. No, seriously, within the last 16 months, a really bad problem, something really bad happened and really threw you out of balance. The darkest tower ever happened. One of the darkest towers within the last 16 months. And this is since when? Since when you're carrying something on your back, on your shoulders. Like, oh my goodness, bless your heart, because you managed to think about so many other people in your life, and very often you would put yourself in the last spot. Trust me, the spirits are watching, you know. This is all getting written in a karma book. It's all getting written in a karma book. The amount of like energy you gave to other people, very, very unselfishly, you know, bless your heart. I know that this was happening. I know that this was a case in your life, you know, and this is why the karmic justice is going to be playing a really big role in your life when it comes to November. So don't forget, I told you before about the karmic justice. That's what I'm talking about right now. So within the last 16 months, something badly affected you. And what affected you restricted your life. It just created this poisonous energy, very poisonous energy, because subconsciously this really did affect you, you know, in terms of optimism and positivity. You know, I'm not saying that you weren't optimistic and positive, but I'm just saying that you just haven't felt yourself. You know, there was no grounding or recentering even possible for a while, you know, when we are like this. So this is why this is so important, because this is your grounding moment. This is your recentering moment. This is how much this affected you. It restricted you doing for what you want to do, you know. So this is why this is so important, because now, only now, you will realize that you are going to be able to like kind of like flow freely towards something specific in your near future. You're going to be able to carry on, but this in itself is to do with a big change, but it's also to do with your near future as well. This in itself is going to be absolutely obvious, because you are really going to find yourself like pretty much so making a rather important decision here indeed. Okay. The next crystal, I was going to recommend you, my gorgeous Sagittarini, would be this absolutely gorgeous ruby zoisite. Ruby zoisite is one of the most powerful crystals when it comes to meditation. Why? Because while we are meditating, or while we are praying, while we are chanting, this in itself helps us to have insights and to gain insights that we normally wouldn't gain. So this is why ruby zoisite is so important, because it helps you to go that much deeper. It's brilliant for meditation, happiness, optimism, appreciation, abundance, vitality, growth, and it brings healing and positive energy into your life. I also highly suggest you to wear this whenever you need it, my gorgeous Sagittarini. And the link to buy this is also up here, and this also comes with a sterling silver chain. By buying things from my channel, you're also supporting my channel as well, so thank you very much for that. The next important date is going to be on the 21st of November. On the 21st of November, yes, there is going to be very much so unexpected good news. This is brilliant. This unexpected good news, it's like pretty much so going to make you aware of the fact that now you're having a great self-control, and now it's also going to make you aware of like your own ability, and this is going to confirm your own ability. It's going to make you aware of your own ability, so it's going to be brilliant when it comes to your mental strength. But also at the same time, because this is going to be an unexpected news, you know, you are going to find yourself like maybe taken back, you're going to be surprised, and later on within that day you are going to decide to kind of chill out. You are going to be meditating, you are going to be thinking about something really intensely, and now this is happening at a time when you are becoming a very, very emotionally stable, very, very emotionally balanced. And now while you are actually meditating, relaxing and chilling out, you are going to remember some kind of advice that someone gave you not that long ago. Suddenly some kind of advice you're going to remember that you've actually forgot about, a brilliant moment and the time of the actual awareness. And this advice that you're going to remember suddenly, it's really kind of going to make you aware of like it's more about you needing to sacrifice something. And as soon as you realize this, as soon as you're kind of open to it, you need to understand that the process of change is already going to start, where you're going to elevate yourself, you're healing and ascending, but then at the same time you are seeing things in an enlightened way, in a different light, especially when it comes to something that you've been so challenging, something that you found so challenging about to kind of sacrifice and get rid of, and now you're not going to be able to wait to actually do something about it. It's so important indeed, and that in itself it's going to lead sorry, that in itself, it's also like by the time you get to the 22nd and the 23rd of November, by the time you get to the 22nd and the 23rd of November, you know, it's like all about this, like kind of like, you know, you need to pay attention to pretty much so the results of your, what results of your efforts you're actually going to have here. This is nothing to do with money, it's nothing to do with finances or anything like that, but it's to do with something really, really personal. The results of your effort that you've had here within these 2 days, and it's to do with something really personal. Look at this here. I will show you with these oracle cards the results of your efforts, and it's to do with something really, really personal within these 2 particular days. It's going to be pretty much so, look at this, mindful, okay, and also see, it's gonna show you what is missing in your life. What is missing in your life? It's gonna show you what do you need to nurture more. Okay, what's missing in your life? What do you need to nurture more? And the more important, it's bringing a very It's bringing a very important clarity into your life on what to do next. Like, oh my goodness. And now the next important date, my gorgeous Sagittarini, is going to be on the 30th of November. On the 30th of November, fantastic idea when it comes to your plans, when it comes to your future. Fantastic. You're going to have an incredible idea, and before you have this idea, you are really going to see something. And what are you going to see on the 30th of November? It's really kind of going to inspire, it's going to give you an idea, and that idea, first of all, you're going to be like, okay, great idea, I really like this, but then you're going to forget about it, and then later on within that still particular day, the 30th of November, later on you're going to see something again, which is again going to remind you of that idea, and then you're going to be like, okay, this is interesting, and now you're going to start thinking about it, and now you're going to take this very, very seriously indeed, because there are some mind-blowing synchronicities that you're also going to become aware of. Pay attention to numbers 333 and pay attention to number 777. So if you come across these numbers, like on that particular day, very shortly after, you will kind of have an idea and realization, an additional idea and realization, you know, when it comes to that particular idea. But now I'm talking about a plan, because this idea is to do with your plan for the future, for example. And this is gonna, like, kind of intuitively, you will know that this is the right thing to do, but then at the same time you are gonna kind of talk to somebody about it, and almost as if you're gonna have like a row and disagreement with somebody. Someone is not gonna understand where you're coming from whatsoever, but you need to stand firm here. Even this, if this is the best person in your life, someone who you get on, it doesn't matter if they don't understand you. Do you know what it's here, which is really bizarre, and it's very strange, but it's gonna make a huge impact on your life. The more someone finds this ridiculous, the more someone like kind of laughs at you here, the more someone doesn't take you seriously, the better vision after that it's going to be. I know it sounds crazy, but it's true. So it doesn't really matter who this is. This is not going to be a serious argument or serious misunderstanding or anything like that. No, baby, no. This is the level of that person finding this idea ridiculous. This is going to show you what a powerful vision you're going to have later on. But because later on you are really literally going to have a vision, you're not going to be able to stop thinking about this. This is going to change your life forever in the best possible way. But later on that particular day, you're going to be thinking about that vision so intensely. And the more you think about that vision, the more you're going to realize that this is going to bring you closer to those people in your life that you want to be closer to. And the more you think about this vision, the more you're going to realize what a big project this is going to be, the more you're going to realize what a hard work this is going to be. But then again, you're not going to be able to stop thinking about it whatsoever. And this in itself is your sign that this is the part of your destiny that you are not going to be able to ignore whatsoever. So now, my gorgeous Sagittarini, I'm just going to see what is going to happen to those of you in relationships. My goodness, for those of you in relationships, there are two people which are going to inspire you so much. There is some kind of a couple here, very powerful couple, very significant couple, you know, very kind of like a stable couple, you know, very kind of beautiful couple, very powerful couple. There's a man and a woman, a couple, man and a woman, and they're really going to inspire you. You are going to be really kind of you're going to come across these people, you are going to be talking about these people, then you're going to be looking at these people, you're going to be looking at their lifestyle, you're going to be looking at what they've done, you're going to be looking at what they do, and you're just going to be completely like, oh my God, you're going to be like, you will want to, something is going to inspire you when it comes to their lifestyle that you will want to do. And this is brilliant because these are the right people to be inspired by. These two people are beautiful. These two people are very gorgeous in every single possible way. I'm talking about two people that are very powerful when it comes to finances, but also they're ridiculously spiritual, and they do not show this to other people whatsoever. So these are the great people to be inspired by. And you know what? This is all happening for a reason. It looks like, you know, you're both going to realize, like, pretty much, so what do you want to apply into your life as soon as you possibly can. It's to do with a certain lifestyle, but it's also to do with you both tapping into something you've never tapped into before. You're both going to realize something new about yourself, and this is all going to come from you, by you wanting to kind of bring a new element into your life that you're going to be so inspired by. You really should do this, because this is, on another hand, also going to bring so much clarity into your both lives, and the things are going to become very, very interesting indeed. And those of you who are single and ready to mingle, my gorgeous Sagittarini, you really need to understand that there is somebody maybe recently, not that long ago, that you came across, and maybe it was a bit of a kissy, and maybe it was like a Mr. Lover, you know, moment with that person, you know, for like a day or two, or whatever it happened, you know, maybe something happened for a few days, maybe for a few weeks, maybe just for a day or two, or maybe nothing even happened, you know, with that particular person. This is for those of you that are single. Maybe you've just like really saw someone and you fancied that person so intensely that you closed all the door to everybody else. Lots of other people want to come in, but they feel that they're not able to come in because the doors are closed. So you need to open your doors, my gorgeous Sagittarini. It looks like at around the 5th of November, and at around the 15th of November, and then at around the 25th of November again. So you're going to have 3 different opportunities to understand and to realize who this is. So you need to establish and identify who this is, and just say, see you later, alligator. Just say bye, because you are, this is not the right person. This is the wrong person for you anyway, but this is the person who subconsciously is affecting you from moving on. So you need to understand, you need to realize who this is first and let them go. Okay, my gorgeous Sagittarini, thank you ever so much for watching my videos. I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light to every single one of you. Sasha Bonasin, Psychic Medium. Love you. Bye.